Tomorrow, Robins Will Sing. Well, that was a popular song by American music legend Stevie Wonder. Tomorrow, Nigeria indeed will have another president. What do the country's more than 200 million citizens want? It's not only another president, they are singing for a better tomorrow. Babajide Ogunsoro, founder of Leadership by Data and Channels Television's data analyst, is already here to share insights about the challenges and opportunities ahead of the next president. All right, Babajide, great to have you on the News at 10 once again.
Hi, like you said, Robins Will Sing. Stevie Wonder.
What a classic song that is.
Yes,
anyway,
it was.
So we're looking at Inauguration Day, which is tomorrow, D-Day, and without doubt, it will come with mixed feelings for Nigerians. What should we expect? I mean, from the president when he gets to be inaugurated tomorrow. What do we expect?
It's talked about hitting the ground running, but more than what to expect, I've thought of how to visualize tomorrow, and I've come up with a gift for the president-elect.
A gift?
Yeah, it is.
Interesting.
I probably would, if he allows me to, present this to him personally, but I'd like you to tear it open quickly.
Oh, it's for the president?
Yes, but I don't know if we will ever get to be with him. But
okay.
Let's just tear it open. I can help you with that.
All right. It's a big one. Oh, there we go.
Yes, that's it.
Usain Bolt.
You know, for more than 3 decades, the president has had in the walls of his bedroom, the pictures of his wife, of his children. But here's what Nigerians expect from the president because of the terrible urgency of today. A president that will run. The gift is the president should hang this on the wall of his bedroom, Ayotunde, so that every morning he understands the terrible urgency that we face today. Enough of, yes, he has the beautiful pictures of his wife, his children, he's seen them for years. What Nigerians expect is, because of the terrible urgency of today, what Usain Bolt achieved on the tracks is what President-elect, who has become or who is about to become President Tinubu, what they expect is the same results on the economy, the same results on the standard and quality of living. This is what he should see, from my perspective, every morning when he wakes up, because this will remind him of the terrible urgency that we face. And so tonight, I would like to look at the standard and the quality of living, because that will really explain to us the terrible urgency of speed. We look at governance, we will see the terrible urgency of speed. We look at the business and investment climate, and we will see the terrible urgency of speed. An urgency that requires the president to sleep, wake up refreshed, and seeing this image to understand that he needs to run every day.
And run and win the race as consistently
he needs to have this image.
As possible.
He needs to have this image every morning when he wakes up in the villa. And of course, I'll be glad to help him put this personally in his bedroom.
All right, so let's get to it then. I mean, how difficult will it be to improve on the business of politics and governance?
Again, lots of ways to look at this. I'll prefer if we start with looking at it from the standard of living, and then we'll go to the quality of living. We'll look at what has happened in the last 8 years, and then we'll talk about the challenges and opportunities ahead. So if we start with what has happened with respect to standard of living in the last 8 years under President Buhari, here's what you'll notice. First, population. In the last 8 years, we've seen when President Buhari came in, 187 million Nigerians, that has grown by 50 million. Currently, estimates of population 241 million. So in 8 years, 50 million new Nigerians have been born. Annual real domestic product, which is how we measure the growth of the economy, that has moved from 69 trillion naira to 74 trillion naira. So we've seen approximately an 8% real growth in the last 8 years. The challenge is population has grown by approximately 30%. And so that number, the annual real GDP per capita, we've seen it has declined within that 8-year period. In summary terms, pain has increased, prosperity has declined. What about the price of food measured by consumer price inflation? The evidence from the central bank shows when the government came in May 2015, inflation rate was 9%. In May 2019, inflation rate was 11%. Now inflation rate is 22%. The last time inflation was that high was in September 2005. Let's look at the dollar exchange rate. It's moved from 197 naira, which was the official bank rate, to 461 naira. And at the parallel market, when the government came in, it was 220 naira, now 765 naira. Some good news from external reserves. That has moved from $28 billion to $34 billion. But in all, the standard of living picture lets us know that there's terrible urgency for President-elect President Tinubu to run.
So what are the facts concerning the performance of President Buhari on security as we try to round up now, very quickly?
Now, on security, we see some good news. Security, we really see some good news if we focus on the facts. And let's look at the facts from the Global Terrorism Index, which is the global leader of tracking terrorism cases all over the world. And based on their facts, if we take a look at the information they've shared, they've revealed that in 2022, Nigeria has seen its best security score. In other words, when the government came in 2015, there were 641 terrorist attacks. Based on recent reports, we've seen terrorist attacks drop to 120. So the fact shows that security has improved within 8 years. What has happened is, especially in the last 2 years, when the president appointed 4 new security chiefs led by the Chief of Defense Staff, General Lucky Rabo, based on the evidence we've seen from the Global Terrorism Index, they say that currently, as of last year, there were only 120 terrorist, perhaps we shouldn't use the word only, there were 120 terrorist attacks relative to where we were 641 in 2015. But again, let's look at the final information. Apart from what the Global Terrorism Index is saying, what are citizens saying with respect to security? And the fact shows that since 2015, there are 4 zones that have said security has improved. 1 zone has said security has declined based on what the people say, and 1 says security is pretty much the same in the last 8 years. The zone that says security is about the same, the Northwest. North Central, families in the North Central say relative to 2015, they feel security is worse. However, the good news is families in the Northeast, Southwest, South-South, and Southeast say compared to 2015, they feel safer. Still lots of information to talk about, but perhaps tomorrow,
when we have the president-elect Bola Tinubu hitting the ground running, and of course,
we need to hang this in front of his bedroom. He needs to hang this in front of his bedroom. He needs to see this every day because there's a terrible urgency of now.
All right, thank you so much, Babajide Ogunsanya, for your thoughts there on the News at 10.